Troy, and on this channel I like to talk about movies I hate, movies I love, movies I don't really give two shits about. I just like talking about movies, and every Wednesday I'm gonna be talking about a classic, a movie of the past, something that one of the all-time great films. I'll talk about it, but I'm also gonna let you know if I think it's overrated, and it shouldn't be a classic, So this is gonna be a debatable Wednesday. Every Wednesday will be a debatable Wednesday, I think. But today I'm going to go ahead and say off the bat that A Clockwork Orange is what I'm talking about, and it's a masterpiece. I don't have anything bad to say about this movie at all. It's a true all-time great film. A Clockwork Orange is a Stanley Kubrick film. He made it in 1971, and it's about a psychopath. And it's one of the great movies, man, because it really digs in deep to the mind of a psychopath. See, a lot of people don't understand that psychopaths are have illness. People have mental illnesses. Sociopaths, all that. That means something's wrong with them. Something in there is not right. And it really gets into how people view you as a psychopath. If someone has autism or something like that, they're not gonna view you in a negative way. They might judge you, but they're not gonna view you in a negative way. It's just something you're born with, and that's just life. But when you're born as a psychopath or a sociopath, they hate you and have problems with you, and which is warranted, which is understandable when you do very terrible things that psychopaths do. And in this movie, the psychopath do some very horrendous things, very awful things, and it just, it basically is about how people want revenge on a psychopath. People want to hurt a psychopath. People want the worst for psychopaths because they do terrible things, and they don't think about that a psychopath has a problem, has a mental problem that he needs to deal with, and that's what this movie talks about. And it's a true masterpiece. And one of the things I love about the film is that they show you that the main character is a psychopath in very subtle ways. Like at the beginning, he rapes and brutally murders a woman, one of the psychopaths, him and his little crew. But then later on, they show in the movie that he can get women anytime he wants. The main character, the main character is Alex, but it shows that he prefers that kind of violence when he can get women. He don't have to do that. Or it shows how the main character is very well off with his family, but then he goes and robs and steals in the middle of the night. So it shows you in subtle ways that the man is a psychopath. And that's what makes this movie so great. The subtle things that it does, the subtle details, that you have to catch to understand how good the movie is. If a lot of this stuff goes over your head, the movie could come off very boring. But if you catch the little clever things that this movie does, you'll fall in love with it. And you could tell this movie take place in the 70s. They fucking, it's a lot of sex, titties everywhere. I mean, you could tell, this was made in the 70s, even though it takes place in some kind of dystopian future. I think it was really neat how Stanley Kubrick, his vision for this movie, it was very well done. This movie is very well crafted, by the way, very well executed, great shots, great editing. That's what I was impressed with, the editing of this film. Very well directed. The pacing of it was well done. The acting was brilliant. The writing was solid. Great dialogue. I mean, the technical aspects of the movie was great. And even if you're someone that's not understanding what's going on in the movie, you could at least respect how well it's being crafted. The stuff you're watching is brilliant if you know what to look for. And the acting, like I just said, was brilliant across the line. Like, everyone brought it, and I never even seen any of these actors before in my life. But all of them was Oscar worthy in this movie, and overall it was a true masterpiece, a great character study. And one of the things I love, it didn't have a plot. If you go through in this movie looking for a plot, you're gonna be confused. You're gonna be like, "What is going on?" Because you're looking for a plot point, but there is no plot. It's just it's a deep dive into a character that is crazy as fuck, and there's nothing really I could say that's bad about the film. Now, I will admit that the movie isn't for everyone. Some people find it boring. Some people will come impatient with the film because they're waiting for something to reveal itself, or and it just doesn't. This movie doesn't flow like that. You know, it takes its time, give you subtle details here and there, um, and reveal itself as the movie goes along. But it is a brilliant picture. It is one I think everyone should watch. I get that whole like a 10 out of 10 for real. So check it. If you ever see Clockwork Orange, if you ever catch it on Netflix, anywhere, well, I think you should give it a try. It's in my opinion Stanley Kubrick's best film. A lot of people would debate that. It's not his most popular film, and that's what I don't understand. You know, a lot of people when they think of Stanley Kubrick, they think of 2001: A Space Odyssey. They think of The Shining and stuff like that. But to me, The Clockwork Orange is his best film, and he's one of the best directors to ever do it. And when you watch this movie, I think you'll see why. If you like movies, you would love this movie, and I think everyone should check it out. So, like, share, subscribe, help a brother out. That's the end of the review.